Tonight, if there's something strange in the neighborhood, who are you gonna call?
Well, the police.
No. If there's something weird and it don't look good, who are you gonna call?
I don't know, the FBI?
No, silly. Ghostbusters.
Ghostbusters?
Okay, not the guys from the movie, but three guys who love Ghostbusters so much, they've spent a lot of time and effort to make themselves the local chapter.
Did they bust ghosts?
Well, not exactly, but they do help folks out. Take a look.
I ain't afraid of no ghosts.
Meet New Hampshire's very own.
I'm John.
I'm Pat.
And I'm Kevin, and we're the Ghostbusters of New Hampshire.
Since childhood, this trio confesses to a fascination with Ghostbusters that would come to play an important part in all their lives.
Dan Aykroyd to me was, he was my Superman. He was my, golden idol. I've always been a really big fan of Ray. A lot of people tell me I look like Pete Venkman, Bill Murray's character. I always identified with Ray Stantz the most. I've always considered myself very excitable, very compassionate. I always dive headfirst into everything, just like Ray Stantz does in the movies.
What happened? Are you okay?
He slimed me.
That's great! Actual physical contact!
Through Ghostbuster events, these three young men formed a bond that laced into a friendship devoted to all things Ghostbusters.
We just got a dialogue going, we started talking, and then John says, I want to make really good Ghostbuster costumes. Do you want to do this? So that was pretty much the start of it.
The men are dedicated to perfecting their Ghostbuster costumes. Everything must be exact, and they've taken the obsession to a whole new level. Take a look at their suits and compare them to the real deal.
The suit is a standard flight suit that after about 10 tries, I figured out the correct dye code, and I custom dye all the suits. We build all the little gadgets on it ourselves, dye the elbow pads, stitch in everything. Yeah, everything on here is all custom built.
John spent weeks dyeing this to get it the right color, just the right shade, just so you know. Some people will just get the beige khaki suits and they think they're fine. We're far more hardcore than that. It has to look just like the poster work. It has to be that exact shade of, off gray.
Their proton packs are also nearly exact replicas, which weigh a sturdy 28 pounds. Don't worry though, they promise not to cross the streams.
We're very happy with the results. The first time we put on our proton packs and, zipped up the suits with 2 or 3 of us in the same room together, we were giggling like schoolgirls. We were so unbelievably happy.
What's that?
I don't really know. It's called a belt gizmo. It was made out of a Sanyo calculator from probably, the 60s?
It's a trap and the trap pedal, and this, it's supposed to open the doors and whatnot. Mine's just a static display.
Yeah, we walked that line, where'd you buy that? It's like, no, we really made them. No, seriously, where'd you buy it? It's like, no, we molded that. That took a long time.
They even have their own Ghostbuster car, the Ecto, personally autographed by Dan Aykroyd, Ray Stantz himself.
This is the Ecto HHR.
Okay, and what's special about this Ecto?
It was the first complete HHR conversion. There are a lot of people who have thrown a light bar on or thrown the logos on. We're the first ones to go all the way out and get the rack built and get the bar done. All the labels that are on this right now are all screen accurate from the movie.
Really? So that's a ghost sniffer?
That's a ghost sniffer. It's an original Slimer popsicle sign from an old ice cream truck. It's probably from 1985, 1986, right when the movie was fresh. Everything is accurate. This rack is custom built by us. We measured, we cut, we got blueprints online, and everything was scaled down to match the movie. So if you blew this up 80%, it would be the exact size of the rack in the film.
We don't actually put the roof rack and the lights on all the time, just when we have special occasions. And people on the streets are just what are you guys doing? Causing a nuisance, what are you doing?
How many hours a week do you think you spend on this?
Way too many. Way too many.
No, it's Ghostbusters! It's Ghostbusters!
These Ghostbusters draw a crowd wherever they go.
All right, let me ask you this. When you have a fire, who do you call? Who do you call when you have a fire? You call firemen, right? All right, well, who do you call when someone's breaking into a store or robbing somebody? Police. Police, right? Yeah. Who do you call when you have a ghost?
I love it. I feel great every time I get to do this. Just the faces on kids, they get so excited.
I felt someone touch me, and I looked behind me, and there was this 8-year-old kid, and he says, "You look just like Bill Murray." And for a minute, I swelled with pride, and then it hit me. I'm 23 years old. I probably shouldn't look like Bill Murray just yet.
A while back, the crew attended Halloween festivities in Salem, Massachusetts, and an idea formed.
While we were down there, we saw the DeLorean from Back to the Future was there. The big prop, lights, sound, the whole 9 yards. We're like, this is the coolest thing ever. And the guy was there. We got to talk to him. He's like, yeah, I drive around city to city with the car and take donations, and it goes to charity. I was like, that's it. That's what we've got to do.
So while they don't really battle the supernatural, normally, they do try to help area charities, turning something that started as a hobby into a more philanthropic venture.
Make-A-Wish has contacted us, so we're going to start working with them to do stuff with them. And we've also done stuff with Boys and Girls Club.
Giving back has taken on new meaning for John, who manages to balance nurturing his obsession and a family.
This is my wife, Sarah, and this is my son, Owen.
Owen? And so he's a future Ghostbuster?
I hope he's a future Ghostbuster.
He already loves the packs.
His wife's thoughts on this rather intense hobby?
Actually, it didn't start until after we got married. I think he wanted to make sure everything was solid, and then he'd slowly introduce it.
I would be the happiest man alive if my son got into this as much as I did. I'll build him a pack to fit him, a suit, and the whole 9 yards. I really hope he enjoys it like I do.
The Ghostbusters, New Hampshire chapter, plan to up their exposure and try to do more to help their community, one ghoulish gig at a time.
We look like Ghostbusters. You know, like the benefit of the costume is that it's very blue collar, it's very real. There's nothing super fantastic about a jumpsuit with elbow pads and your name tag. So every time we get one more detail just right, you know, it blurs that line of fantasy and reality for us.